Every day, thousands of tourists come here, but some are delighted, while others are sure they wasted their money. So is it worth going to this hotel? Let's find out. Welcome to Sunrise Tucana Resort Grand Select. Sunrise Tucana Resort Grand Select is a new hotel in Hurghada that immediately impresses with its stylish architecture and modern design. It is located on the first line, so the crystal-clear sea with soft sand is just a few steps away from the spacious pools. On the territory, there are various restaurants and bars serving dishes from different cuisines of the world, and the evening shows create a real festive atmosphere. The hotel's rating is 4.9 on Google, 9.3 on Booking.com, and 4.7 on TripAdvisor. However, even such a popular hotel has its drawbacks that can seriously affect your choice. Let's take a closer look at all the pros and cons of the hotel so you can make the right decision. But before we start, I want to ask you to subscribe to our channel and support this video with likes and comments. Thank you. The beach at Sunrise Tucana Resort Grand Select is small and narrow, but well equipped with sun loungers, which were always enough, and I never had to look long for a free spot. The sand was soft and clean, and walking barefoot on it was truly pleasant. The beach is located in a bay, so the sea here is calm without strong waves, making it safe even for small children. However, because of the sand, the water looked cloudy, and I had no desire to put my head under the water. Unfortunately, there is no underwater world at all here. No corals, no fish, just empty space. I liked the beach itself. It was neat and well maintained, but it lacked some of the cozy seaside atmosphere. The hotel also has another beach, exclusively for club members. I had to pay extra to enter this beach. It looked much more spacious and attractive, but turned out not to be for everyone. Friends, if you stayed at Sunrise Tucana Resort Grand Select, write in the comments what you liked and what you didn't. I'd be happy to discuss. And now, let's take a look at the territory, and believe me, there is a lot to talk about. I liked the territory of Sunrise Tucana Resort Grand Select. The hotel has its own aqua park, which turned out to be really excellent. I spent quite a lot of time there and enjoyed it a lot. However, the pools at Sunrise Tucana Resort seemed small, and because of the large number of people, they were often overcrowded. The territory itself is kept in great condition. Well-maintained paths, greenery, and flowers created a sense of coziness and freshness, but the intrusive service of sellers in the shops on site was sometimes annoying and spoiled the mood. Wi-Fi did not work for me during the entire stay, which was a big disappointment. By the way, I ordered a transfer service, but the car provided by the hotel was quite old, so I definitely would not recommend using it. Overall, the resort looks very modern and luxurious, but the prices seemed too high to me. A pleasant bonus was that I could use the infrastructure of the neighboring hotel complex. There was a spa and gym there, a bit outdated, but for example, the massage was excellent. I liked that the hotel was very quiet, with almost no music at the pool, so it was possible to relax in peace. On the downside, I can mention the location. I expected the hotel to be closer to the city center, but in fact, we ended up a bit far away, and getting to the center of Hurghada took a long time. And now I'll tell you what surprised me about the food in this hotel. The food at Sunrise Tucana Resort personally didn't appeal to me much. Let me explain why. The Italian restaurant was excellent. Delicious dishes, a pleasant atmosphere, and attentive service made the evenings unforgettable. But breakfast turned out to be a real disappointment. The buffet was so poor that I could hardly find anything suitable. The pastries were dry and hard, and the coffee with milk tasted more like diluted water. In the Greek restaurant, we weren't even brought a glass of water, and the food itself was of terrible quality. Overall, the food was often tasteless and of low quality, and unfortunately, some guests, including us, had gastrointestinal problems. When staying on an all-inclusive basis, you expect food to be available throughout the day, but in the daytime, there was a particular lack of snacks, such as pancakes, waffles, or other sweets. However, despite all the downsides, the Bedouin Village restaurant was a real discovery for me. It was tasty and atmospheric, with music and dancing, all set in a beautifully styled tented village. The fish restaurant looked appealing, but it required an extra charge, and I would have liked to see more fresh fish in the standard menu. In the end, the food turned out to be the weak point of this hotel, but unfortunately not the only one, and here's why. My room at Sunrise Tucana Resort Grand Select was quite good, but with its flaws. I liked the room design. Everything looked modern, stylish, and cozy. We stayed in a room with a private pool, and this was a big advantage, although it was only allowed to use it from 8 in the morning until sunset. Swimming in the evening was not allowed, which was a bit disappointing. We were lucky to have access to the Posh Club, which provided butler services in our room. However, room service was very slow, and even simple things took a long time. The mattress turned out to be spring-based and creaked with every movement, and the pillows looked carelessly arranged, which was not what you expect from a 5-star hotel. Another downside, if you want to have breakfast in your room by the pool or jacuzzi, you have to pay the full price for food and drinks, which seemed absolutely unfair to me. The ceiling in the bedroom was covered with reed, which looked very nice and atmospheric, but on the last day, small bugs fell out of it right onto my bed, which was an extremely unpleasant surprise. Overall, the rooms are good and spacious, but such little unpleasant details greatly spoiled my impression, and now I'll tell you in detail about the service at the hotel. If you think this doesn't matter, remember that bad, indifferent staff can ruin your holiday. The staff at Sunrise Tucana Resort Grand Select left the most positive impression on me. From the moment I arrived at the hotel, I was greeted with genuine smiles and care. The check-in process was quick and comfortable, thanks to the attentive reception staff. I especially remember the housekeeping team, who always kept everything perfectly clean and paid attention even to the smallest details. I appreciated the kindness and responsiveness of the staff. They always tried to help in any situation. All the staff were friendly and professional, which made the atmosphere in the hotel particularly welcoming. It was clear that the employees were truly dedicated to their work and did it wholeheartedly. Every interaction with them left me with pleasant emotions. It's safe to say that the staff here are wonderful and one of the main advantages of the hotel. But, most likely, to decide whether this hotel is for you, you'll also want to know if there is entertainment. The entertainment at Sunrise Tucana Resort overall I liked more than I disliked. There were shows every evening, and I especially remember the Nubian and Arabian Nights. They were truly spectacular, with beautiful dances and live music. The organized events looked very high quality. Dancers, DJs, and singers created a festive atmosphere. At the same time, it sometimes felt like the animation could have been richer, especially compared to other hotels. Still, there was animation, and we didn't get bored here. If you are planning a holiday with children, be aware that the playgrounds and kids club leave much to be desired, and unfortunately, there is nothing outstanding for kids here. Sunrise Tucana Resort Grand Select, located in Hurghada, didn't really impress me, and at least for now, we don't plan to return to this hotel. There is a decent beach, but absolutely no corals, a beautiful territory, modern rooms, but the food urgently needs improvement. In my personal opinion, Sunrise Tucana Resort deserves more of a 4-star rating than 5. If you just want to enjoy the sun and don't have high expectations for food and entertainment, I can admit that you might like it here. Friends, the final choice is always only yours, and it's up to you to decide whether to come to this hotel or not. In the meantime, while you are thinking, I recommend watching these other videos of ours about Egyptian hotels in Hurghada. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our new reviews. And with that, I say goodbye, see you soon at a new hotel.